I'm not a good adult. You should know that by now.
Okay, but we live now. It's loaded, so just give me one. Dear Lord Jesus.
Is he on the show?
Who?
No. Keep it moving. I don't want to offend your religious constituents.
It is now. Oh, got all these little bells and whistles popping up on my screen that I'm not used to.
To be your fans. Keep it moving. I don't want to offend. Are you gonna post like the links to this thing? You know, like so people watch.
Yeah, I'm posting it now.
I had a handful of people last time.
Those whistles popping up on my screen that I'm not used to.
Can I offer anybody anything to drink?
No.
You don't want to be rude.
I'm gonna tag you all. Let's see. Nisha.
How's this sound, Anisha?
Sorry.
No, you sound good. I was just questioning the sound.
Oh, okay.
We'll post like the links to this thing. You know, people watch.
Yeah, I'm posting it now.
I had a handful of people last.
Okay, so welcome everybody. Sorry for that long pause and delay as I got things set up. One day I'm going to have someone that can assist and it will run a little bit smoother and we're just going to keep growing and growing. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for another episode of Confessions and Conversations with your girl, your host with the most, your favorite chick to chit chat with, Miss Mo. And tonight, to get into this conversation about dating after 40, I have some of my peeps here with me. We have Anisha. Hi, girl. We have Miss Danielle hanging out with us. I'm doing an order, you know, alphabetical. I know my ABCs. Haha, public school did me well. We also have Mr. Percy in the building.
Hello.
And back for I don't know how many times we have my good homegirl, Miss Tiffany. So thank you all so much for joining me. Let us pray. Jesus. Yes, Lord. All right. We're going to stay on topic. We're going to stay on task and we're going to have another great conversation. So again, thank you guys for joining me. I don't know if you guys remember Percy, but he was on my first episode of Between Brothers and Sisters. Him, George. It was just you and George on that one, right? Because Keith didn't make it. He gave us the holler. And then this is Danielle's second time joining with us. She was here for part one of this conversation, which was still single after 40, which was a great conversation. It was not supposed to go that long, but I think we were on there for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. We was talking up some stuff. We're going to try to stay on time tonight, but you know how it goes. Good conversations just flow. All right. And then this is Miss Anisha's first time joining us. And Tiffany, you've been here with me like 2 or 3 times. So you guys should be a little familiar with her. But Anisha, since this is your first time joining us, why don't you go ahead and get him a little bit about yourself so we can jump into this conversation, girl.
Hey, everybody. So I'm Anisha. I am the CEO of Greatness Gear, author of the journal Next Stop Greatness. I am currently dating after 40.
Come on here.
And it is interesting.
Because I'm not. So this is why I wanted to have this conversation. So I sent you guys a video to watch. I don't even know the guy's name, but one of the things that he was talking about was the alpha female. And there were a lot of interesting things that came about in that conversation. Anybody want to give a snippet of their take on the conversation?
I will.
Keep it clean, Percy.
Thank you for the reminder. Feel free to tap me on the shoulder and let me know I'm going too far.
Let me find my mute button.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of Kevin Samuels
Okay,
because it's I understand a lot of women don't favor this young man because he's kind of brutally honest. But my father used to say a broken clock is right twice a day. Now, the woman he had on the show, she came off with game. You know, she lied about her age and she was very bossy and all types of stuff like that. And she didn't factor into her pursuit of a suitor, male, that when you have money, you have options. You know, and dating isn't fair for women and men. The odds are insanely unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so she was asking for something cool, and she didn't want to conform to, you know, what the young man was saying. If you remember, Kevin Samuels was kind of just, okay, I'm gonna let you talk. You're right. Okay, whatever. You know, it's no profit in arguing with that girl. She's a very attractive woman, very successful, and that's cool. But you know, you got to adapt. You know, as you get older, you look at the landscape and you realize what was cute in my 20s may not be cute in my 30s, 40s, whatever the story is. You got to change. You know. So, I mean, that's what I took from that.
So before we go into that a little further, let me back it up just a little bit because we're talking about dating after 40. So let's start with what is dating, because what I've learned is that dating varies. You hear the terms thrown around, you know, dating is meant for collecting data. And so then there are different things that go on, and it's kind of like, well, if this is what this is, then why are you tripping? So what does dating mean to you guys? Like, if you're dating someone, is it open? You know, is it exclusive? Is it we're building? Does it change to something else? Dating just casual? Like, what is dating to you?
Well, since I, you know, I'm not currently dating. However, when I thought I was, I learned a lot. I learned a lot because it had been many, many years. So what I thought dating was back in my, you know, 20s seems to be different now. And to me, it's all jacked up. But I've heard as well that dating is, you know, the portion of the relationship where you're building and you're gaining information and data to see if you can even, you know, if you're on the same page, if you have the same morals, if you have the same goals, you know. So it's really before you even, I guess, set a foundation, you know, to a relationship. But yeah, dating in general is just so different. And, you know, and I guess now they, you know, those who are dating say that, most people say, well, I would say that, well, when I thought I was dating, there's a backdrop to that. I thought it was automatic exclusivity, and it wasn't. It wasn't to the other person. And
Daniel,
I was like,
I interrupt for a second?
This is not what I'm used to, but I get it. Yes.
Can I interrupt you for a second? I just want to ask you a question because you said something that's very important. When did you realize that it wasn't exclusivity? What age, if you don't mind me asking?
What age you said?
Yeah, what age? When did it click?
I began,
when did it say, okay, this is the way it is?
I would say maybe about 4 years ago. This is about 4 years ago.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize for jumping in.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It was about 4 years ago because I was married for a long time and I've been divorced for 7.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah.
So you probably kind of came out of the exclusivity in marriage into dating with that same mindset that you came out of marriage with.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And so that's when I began to realize that, like you said, dating is different to each individual. It really is different. And so you have to No, and that's why, and I don't know where you're going with this, Ms. Mo, but I just want to say that's why it's important. And I know that I don't want to just say men, but people kind of get rubbed the wrong way when you want to quantify or you want to understand what this is because dating means something different to everybody. So you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time and that you're on the same page.
Now I want to pull Percy into that part right there, because that is something that you have heard some men be like, you've heard in conversations or saw on TV or whatever. Well, they'll be like, you're asking, so what is this? What is it that we're doing? It's like, hold on, like let's just live in a moment. Let's just enjoy this moment. But if she's trying to get an understanding of what this is so that she can move accordingly, and if asking what this is kind of makes a man feel like there's pressure to commit to something, what's the appropriate way for us to have that conversation and be understood on both ends of the spectrum of what it is we're talking about?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's easy, but women are at a disadvantage of this because men pursue, women don't. So, we go out shooting whatever we can hit with our arrows, whatever we shoot at. Women, you look attractive, you do what you got to do in order to attract what you think you want. So because I'm initiating the conversation, the advantage is on the male side. That's it. Those are facts. It's not my opinion. Now, when you start dating, now keep in mind, there are a lot of opportunities just in the real world. Professional opportunities, business opportunities. Women are doing probably as good as, maybe even better than dudes. So you have a large bunch of dudes that may not be doing as well as you, or maybe doing as well as you. So it's like, I may not be ready to be the head of the household, the provider. Maybe I wasn't taught to be all that good stuff. So that's a lot of stuff that goes on in our heads. At the same time, if I am exclusive to one person, I'm exclusive to one person. I got options, or either I don't want to give up my options, or either this chick who's got her degree, who's doing things, who's like my girl Anisha, who's the CEO of her own company doing things like that, I may not be on her level. So why should I be, I'm trying to find the church appropriate word, kind of have my manhood questioned in my own eyes, so that's what goes on. See, a lot of us don't have our stuff together, in the real world. I got a rap career going on. I got this, blah, blah, blah. And I got to hustle, sell socks out the back of my car. But at the same time, you got your degree, you are the CEO and you got things going. You paying your own bills and you got a rental property. And you doing what you got to. But me, I got two roommates, so it's like, yeah, you here. So it's like, I don't want to play my cards and seem like a clown. So that's one thing, you got to stay online. So when you ain't getting the answers you want, you got to kind of protect yourself a little something. It's okay. You know what? I don't know what the church word for this, but we call it DOD, something on demand. And I think that is what a lot of women benefit from. If it's like, okay, he ain't serious, I'm going to keep you in the toolbox. When I need you, I'm going to pull you out. All right, cool. No problem. And you can just enjoy an adult relationship, but that ain't the cat you want to plant your seeds in. Now, I feel bad for women because you want a man to be a man. I'm old school. I watch Shaft maybe twice a week. My pops, used to hang out, with Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. I'm old school like that. You want a man to lead because it's in your nature to follow behind the lead. A lot of cats ain't ready for that. And I feel bad for you women because of that. So it's like you got game and whack game, but y'all's like, all right, cool, whatever. And then your nature's saying, I want to fall behind, but your survivalist thinks saying, this cat is a clown. Oh, I feel bad for you. Tell me if I'm out of line.
Okay,
you ain't lying about the clown part.
You really not. But here's my question, because I watched the video with her. So here's him every day since. He's straightforward and to the point, and I like it. But she came in wrong because she lied off the top.
No. You kind of breaking up. Yeah, I knew you had some good stuff to say. And I'm sorry, did you break up? Could you repeat that for me?
Okay, so I've been watching him since I watched that video, and
Kevin Samuels, right?
Yeah, okay. And I actually love him because he's straightforward and to the point. She came in lying, and you can pretty much pick up She's a control freak. And if it don't go her way, it's no way.
And I picked up on that. See, I feel bad for this chick because she's successful, and she's
Right.
she's an attractive woman. She's been allowed to get away with that. Now, kind of off topic, but squarely on topic, you know, the more attractive you are by popular terms, you get away with BS. People tolerate stuff like that. You know, if you're average looking person, get out of here. You know, if you're cute, yeah, okay, whatever. And then that's just the way the world works. What she came at, and I completely agree with you, she came at him kind of like, you're not real. And so Kevin Samuels, he makes his money doing this. In a way it might be considered exploitation, but a lot of women, I feel, they go on the show, some of them, the majority of them, I feel, walk away learning something, because if they're smart, you're learning how men think. And then you want a high value man, there's a mentality that comes with high value man. He ain't just looking for a woman. He's like, I work hard for my money. I deserve this. I can buy this crazy 3-story house. I can buy this crazy car, whatever story is. I can get Halle Berry for once, or whoever else is hot. So you got to be on that level. And Beyonce and the rest of these clowns got average women, average dudes. Pardon? I apologize. Maybe it's one word, but it's levels. Dating comes in levels, and it's basically either auditioning or managing rejection, or either setting the terms the way you're going in life. You want a man, and guy wants a woman, but then at the same time, you're not for everybody, and everybody ain't for you. So that's fine. And I feel bad for women because everything on TV, magazines, radio tells you need this product in order to be beautiful. Y'all are beautiful the way you are. Some people like you without makeup, but at the same time, the dude will tell you, she got to be pretty without makeup. Yeah, but she wore makeup to get you, blah, blah. So it's a real messed up deal. Now, as I said earlier, and I said that to preface what goes on, men ain't really doing as well as a lot of you women are. Because y'all are ambitious. Y'all are doing big things. Look at the chick that's running the political situation here in Atlanta, Stacey Abrams. She put that man in the White House. It's a woman. Boom. So y'all making big dog moves. Us trying to get our rap career together. Oh, baby mama holding me back. All this other good stuff. Just a lot of stuff that we got to deal with in our heads that don't make the game really fit. That's why you deal with the game and all this other good stuff. That's just me from the outside looking in. But
can I interject?
Ask them a question. Yeah. What's going on, Danielle?
So my take on it, and I've only seen him maybe 2 or 3 times, and I've actually had a discussion, not about this particular video with a male coworker, but just, we were talking about dating. And okay, to each his own. I don't care for him. He does what he does. That's his business. If you didn't send it to me, I wouldn't have watched it. However, because I find, there may be some women who walk away learning something. However, there are a lot of women who walk away broken, worse than they probably, came to him with, or scarred, or, in a worse place, and maybe he checks them to the point where they begin to do a self-assessment, which maybe, they should, right? We all should. But I just don't, and to me, she kept asking questions, but he kept, you're right, like deflecting. And my thing
why do you think he did that? Why do you think he did that?
I really don't know, because I'm not him, but
no, but from what you perceive,
to have a dialogue. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a dialogue. So True. She asked him a question, and
right, okay. So not to cut you off, she asked him a question, and he went to answer her, and she kept cutting him off.
At a couple
that's
points.
Why he kept saying, "You right."
And she fed him BS too.
At some points, but let me finish my point. So my thing is, as far as dating in general, or his approach, or what the topic was, or what have you, is that everybody's talking about an alpha woman, alpha man, high value this, high value that. And I'm like, it's so it's just so fleshy. It's just so carnal. And I'm like, what about character? Ain't nobody looking at that no more. Yeah, we want to make sure that whoever we're dating or will be in a marital covenant with, that we are equally yoked, whether that is the man, whoever makes the lesser amount of income, it doesn't matter. But my thing is that it's just so carnal, and everybody's looking at the outside stuff, but not looking at character. Like, what about the character of a person?
But that's a twofold, because in order to really get to know your character, I have to spend time with you. So
right.
When we meet a person, we don't even, because sometimes your representative shows up.
Absolutely.
You want me to see how you wanted to present yourself in that moment. So that's what I first encounter. I have to either be able to discern and dig and get through it. Like, some people have that ability to see through your representative and see who you really are in that moment, but everybody doesn't have that ability. So that's one. And so most of the time when people are talking about things, they're talking about in that initial thing. When you talk about business, they talk about your elevator pitch. Well, when we're talking about meeting people and dating, how much of your representative is really you? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more to that. So a lot of times when people are talking about and having those conversations, they're talking about in those initial coming together things. That's one. And two, so yeah, because a lot of times when people are talking about who they want to be with, they're talking about, this is the future I see for myself. And in order for me to have a mate, a spouse, or whatever, be it male or female, there are certain things you're expecting them to bring to be able to continue in that lifestyle, or to build and expand on it from where it starts at. So those things are the things that they look at for that. Your character plays a huge role in how well we're going to be able to build, whether it's time to compromise. But when you talk about the conversation with him, to me, you have to be able to get past him to take in the information that he was saying. His delivery and his approach could be totally better. One of the things you said about how you can see how women walk away broken, more wounded or damaged, period, from those conversations. He's not someone that a wounded woman should have a conversation with.
Absolutely.
Where she's not fully sure. However, when she came on, she started out by lying. So you already set a tone for where this conversation was going to go. So when he was doing a thing like, you're right, he was teaching her that this is exactly what I was trying to tell you. But because you wouldn't listen to what I'm saying, you showed up how you've been showing up in all these other situations. And instead of me doing whatever those men did, I'm just going to sit here and be like, you're right. So when he was doing that, he was being sarcastic, but he was doing it to show her, this is what I was trying to tell you, that you kept saying, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. And he's like, yes, it is, but I'm not going to argue with you. So, so it's kind of like you have to turn your feelings off to have a conversation a lot of times. But most of the time when we have them, it's going to prick a feeling, or we already in our feelings and emotions get in the way. And this is why in all types of relationships, arguments sometimes get out of hand because our emotions are in the way. You on my feelings and you offended me. But what am I saying? Because sometimes some sayings are hard to hear. When he made that statement that it isn't that chivalry went away, he was like, the modern woman killed chivalry. I look at situations where people would try to do stuff, like I'm walking into a place and some guy I don't know is coming and he'll grab the door and I'll step back to grab the door and be like, no, you can go in. And it's like, there's so many things that we step out of. I remember one of my mentors, she told me that how they were, she was going somewhere with some other ministers. And so the guy in the midst of talking was talking and walking, and he went to the driver's side to get in the car. And she said she just stood there and waited for him to get a clue and come back around and open the door. And it was one of those things where sometimes women have taught men, we don't need you to do what we call manly things or operate in chivalry, because I got me. I don't need a man for anything. I want a man, but I can do this all by myself. So some of them be like, well, you go ahead and do you then. Because I'm the one who
that's a big part. That's a big part of that. That's a big part of that, and that's a big part of dating. Because men are now, they want to do it, but we so I can do it all by myself. You have to learn how to step there. And that's what he kept saying. Be feminine. Be a woman.
But you know what,
You know,
Anisha?
I agree, but
so let me finish this part. They need to see that so they can be who they need to be for you. You keep stepping up to the plate and taking over what they need to take care of. So they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna do you. We're gonna do you. And that's all he was trying to explain to her. And again, she set the tone of that conversation by lying from the beginning.
Now I agree.
She came in as being.
I agree.
By lying from the beginning.
I agree.
And
She
like talking to
absolutely did.
him, he's not a person that if you broken, you absolutely cannot have a conversation with him because he is going to read you to get you together. So you understand the delivery. No, it's not the best, but I understood where he was coming from. But the thing, and then we have to think back as women. How have we set the tone for these men? How have we set the tone, and how have we just pushed ourselves up on them? Let them get whatever they want to get
while you pregnant.
Exactly, and they can have the cow, they can have the milk and the cow too.
Right.
So you got to think about how we have set the tone, and what he was saying is be a woman. And here's the thing with me, I had to reprogram myself with dating. I had to be because I was so used to I had been alone for so long and I was doing it all by myself. So I had to reprogram myself to be the female, to allow him to do whatever he gonna do. But in the real tone, I'm still gonna tell you, hey, thank you, but no, because I don't like what you said and how you said it. And that's cool. But it's a matter of now in the midst of dating, because we so rah want to be strong, when you gonna let that girl come out?
And so you took the words right out of my mouth, because I had to do the same when I was dating. In that blink of a moment, that I had been, even though I was married, that still didn't mean that my ex-husband carried the chivalry that maybe, a woman may have wanted. So therefore, when I was divorced, I was still used to opening the door for myself, getting in, doing certain things, I was already programmed that way. So when it came to, there were a few times that he went to go get the door, and I was like, I went and got it. And then I was like, you talking about, I felt so small. I felt so bad, because I was like, dang, I just took his job. You know what I mean? Not his job, but that is, you know what I mean? But I just took his opportunity to show me chivalry. And I had to, and it was a couple times, even perfect strangers, men, I had to stop. They went, and I'm looking like, why you buy me? You know what I mean? Because I'm funny about my space. But, somebody was actually going to open the door for me. And I had to, reprogram myself to be able to step back and accept this. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But it was just that my mentality of being single and not experiencing it.
So that's changing.
Yeah,
that's changing, huh?
Yeah, and it had to change us, because because I got what he was saying. He was like, when are you gonna be the woman and not try to be the man? I understood exactly what he was saying, because in the beginning dating for me, I was like, well, I could do it all by myself, and I had to fall back and
yeah, and you absolutely,
I had a conversation with my uncle about it. He was like, me.
Yeah, he's right. But I said something a little earlier that I'm surprised nobody checked me on. I explained dating as engineering rejection. Now, because we pursue, right? Now, when I first started out, you get your game from, you hear the older guys talking, you got to walk up to a girl and, all right, cool. And then all of a sudden I approach Ms. Mo. And then she shut me down. So a smart dude with game is, I'm going to have to retool my approach. And now I'm going to approach Danielle. Danielle, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to use what I learned from my rejection from Ms. Mo. And then all of a sudden, Anisha, so, we learn. And that's what game is. Now, because women are used to being pursued, it's like, he's going to take me, blah, blah, blah. Now, because I can't put all the weight on women, because I was raised by a single woman. And I have a daughter who I love more than life. And I understand the landscape. And I know a whole lot of cool dudes and a whole lot of shiftless dudes. So I understand that. And everybody deserves to be happy. But you know, the trick is you have to develop your situational awareness to read who you with. You know, because some folks was never taught to open up doors for cars, you know, open up doors for women about all this other stuff like that. And because that'd be a whole nother topic, how single women were raising men and where the fathers didn't, whatever. I was taught that this is how you treat a woman. So that kind of works with the over 40 crowd because that's what y'all grew up with. But the over 20 chicks, like you said, blah, 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 whatever. And then on top of that, maybe you had a dude in your life and you had to hold it down and be both man and woman in that relationship. I understand that. But you got to be like, you know what? I can catch more flies with honey than I can with vinegar. You know, so then you got to go and change it too. But you know what I mean? I ain't changing for nobody, blah, blah. And it goes back to what you said about Kevin Samuels. He makes some money off of this deal. You know, he makes about $134,000. I Googled his net worth on it, off of YouTube, off of the show. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of entertainment. Nobody goes on Maury to find out who the father was. They go for 2 days to stay out there in a hotel, to be on TV to tell their friends. And that's how that works. You know, so, yeah, truth kind of hurts. Because sometimes you're going to find out you're the clown in the story. You know, but see, the game has changed for women. Because y'all have a lot of opportunity and you're very ambitious. So a lot of dudes will be like, no, she thinks she a man now. But what's she going to? No, she just got her degree. She worked hard. She got her promotion. She got her money. That's why she drives what she drives. Yeah, but I don't want no gold digger. Dude, you work in a call center. You make $24,000 a year. What's she going to take from you? You know, so, you know, and that's what happened. Hold on. Chief motivator. Am I telling you something you didn't already know?
You're not. But and
that's
here's the
I'm
thing.
saying.
You're not telling us, but here's the thing. As a man, now let me ask you this question. You didn't peep me for a minute. You saw what I do, you see how I move.
Yeah.
You still thinking you was gonna come and I wasn't gonna have no stipulations to it? Like I was just gonna be like, well, okay, you can just do whatever you want to do.
Those are dudes at whack game. You know, if anything, I'm going to feel you. This is why I use the word engineering rejection, because I'm trying to stay on the good side, on the opposite of rejection. So I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to find out about you, what makes you laugh, what things you like, blah, blah. Now, basically, dating, in order to get a woman, I got to prove that I'm better than you. I got to prove that I can support you. I got to prove I'm the man of the relationship. I got to, you know, be able to pick you up and take you out to dinners and stuff like that. So I got to prove that I'm better than you. A lot of people don't have that ammunition to shoot that shot. And so they're going to hit you with game. Oh, yo, my car is in the shop, blah, blah. Or either you're going to act a certain way because, you know, your life story. And then they might, oh, well, I ain't messing with her because, you know, she ain't feminine enough. Okay, but if you really like her, you know, maybe take time to find out, say what you got to say. I mean, we're all putting on our best face. We're trying to, you know, be as attractive as we can to be the person we want to be. Because you're trying to gather information. I'm trying to gather information. We're trying to see if those pieces fit together. So that's how come, you know, I feel bad for women to be like, okay, well, I assume there will be exclusivity. Say, no, that's first class. You paid for coach. This is where we at. You work up to that, you know.
So wait, this is really.
I know you got a lot of
I want to bring up a couple of things though, because Percy, you keep hitting on so much stuff that I just want to have a conversation about, and it's really good to have a male's perspective on the show. So I think I'm gonna schedule something where it's gonna be me and you. I'm gonna collect a whole bunch of questions and I'm gonna throw them at you and just let you have your way. So get your calendar ready. We're gonna have that coming soon. But I want to read some of the comments that have been coming in our chat. One of them was because women are taught to be strong women, and unfortunately we negated our femininity, because femininity was one of the things that he talked about on the show. But even
well, how do we negate our femininity? Let's go back. Let me say something about that. Did your grandmother negate her femininity with your grandfather? Absolutely not.
But the thing is, what does femininity represent to everybody? Just like the original question was, what is dating? It varies for people, and it's kind of, what does that look like for us? So for you, from your perspective as a man, what is femininity to you? What is a feminine woman represent to you?
I think a bigger question would be like, how valid is that assertion? Because y'all are women. You play double dutch, you do blah blah, and whatever.
Bro, ain't no double
And
dutch
then
jumping off around these parts. No.
I'm with you. Yeah, as soon as puberty kick in, it becomes less attractive. I'm with you on that. But what happens is, and me and Mo work together. I know a whole lot of C-level women. Now they wear high heels, skirts.
Wait. Stop. Slow down. What's C-level? Explain that.
When you're CEO, CFO, CIO, executive level.
Oh, okay.
Because there's usually a C in front of their name, in front of their title. Okay. Now, I've heard dudes say, "Yo, man, when they stop being female, explain how you feeling." And I don't get the answer to satisfy me. Even when I'm broke, I could be kicking game with Oprah, working in McDonald's, working the fry machine. I don't care. I'm getting the big piece of chicken because I'm a man. That's my title. That means I got to roll up. If she came to me knowing that I'm flipping fries and burgers, I'm expected to be a man. I got to kill spiders. She ain't going to do it. So I'm going to get that big piece of chicken. That's all you got to do. But that's the game I was taught by my father, my friends and stuff like that. So I had some grooming. At the same time, I talked to this girl, talked to that girl, and I've got a history talking to girls. So you learn stuff from it. And so a lot of times your success could exclamate somebody else's failure. So it's like, because like how the chief motivator, you own a company. And so it's like, wow, I'm making $24,000 at a call center, so now I might be a little intimidated by you. So next thing hey, what happened with you and, Anisha? Man, she came in here, man, she bossing me around. Right? So I always question what, the information is coming to me. It's what's really motivating what you're saying, especially if I know the person. So, this is my thoughts. This is my opinion.
Hold on. Okay.
I'm popular now.
So, now I told you I have that company, but I still have a full-time job as well.
We all do.
So,
and what y'all saying, church? The faith of a mustard seed. You got to start somewhere.
First, I'm gonna put you in a full-blown timeout at 2.2.
I'm just getting warmed up. Even Jesus knew he couldn't save everybody.
What does femininity look like to you on a woman?
It changes. Everybody has their own personality. You can't judge everybody by the same, measure, by the same ruler. No, because I have friends, I have female friends that like to go camp. I have female friends that they don't even own flats. I have female friends that like to race cars. So femininity, and this is why I said you got to question where that information is coming from. Somebody questioning how feminine you are. Hey, hold on. Define what you're talking about. And then you're gonna hear the truth after a while. Yeah, well, you put ketchup on your hamburger. Dude, shut up. And that's what I hear a lot of. And because guys are kind of hard on, guys show each other affection by clowning each other. So some of you guys be talking some stuff. This guy got weak game. He done talked to Mo. Now all of a sudden he's like, yo, man, I can't stand Mo, man. I can't. What happened? And then you hear something that's like, come on, homie. So and then that's what I hear.
Will you consider cars feminine? Will you be
yeah, of course.
Date a woman who has a construction belt?
Yes. My daughter, I wanted a boy, but I wanted her to show that she didn't have limits. We go ATVing in California. We go rock climbing, we go surfing, we do all the time. I just want her to know that there's no boundaries to what she got to do. And there's no boundaries with you. Things that make you, I don't watch sports. That doesn't make me gay. And I had to fight with that all my life. So you just, but women usually don't.
Hands are greasy, and you know how mechanics' hands are like black and greasy.
Let's take it back to what I said. You got to understand how to play that card. We learn from rejection. So we're engineering rejection. If your hands is greasy and all sort of good stuff, pull a hair back in a ponytail, you wash your hands, blah, blah, and put on something that's accentuating the parts that he likes, you win it. Now, you don't have to go and sell him, say, yo, okay, hold on, stand back, punk, let me change this tire. You should have enough situational awareness to understand. For one thing, because we're in this age where more opportunities for women, you got to do what makes you happy. That's the bottom line on that deal, because this guy may not work out, but you got to look yourself in the mirror. So go ahead. And if you have an interest in cars, interest in data science or whatever that stuff is, that's fine. But don't let that hold you back from growing. And but at the same time, I mean, like I come from an age where, men wear men's shoes, hats, Sammy Davis Jr. looking type cats, but dudes wear their pants hanging off their butts now. So everything's changed. So y'all have the right to change yourselves too and like things that aren't traditionally women,
Good answer.
I don't play. Yeah.
So for me, dating is basically just getting to know one another.
Always.
I think sometimes we fast forward things in life. We move too fast. It's okay to have standards. It's okay to have, certain intentions, but we should first start off by getting to know one another, because in the beginning phase, I might realize that I don't like you. We don't have nothing in common. So there's no need to go further. Now, if I start noticing that we have a few things in common and we're kind of on the same page, then now at that point, I would like to ask, well, what are your intentions towards me? And I would like to share my intentions towards you. And then maybe we can move further into maybe talking about monogamy or just starting off slow. I think right now, in these days, everybody just want to go fast, fast, fast. You want the relationship right now. He's attractive. He's this. He has a good job. He might not have a also good job, but his personality is real good. He knows how to manage the money that he does receive. He takes care of his children, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And we just want the right now. Oh, okay. I thought
he said, I was about to say, now wait a minute, Percy.
Oh no. No, but you're absolutely right. And everything takes time. A lot of people, mainly women, put the cart before the horse because your shelf life is different from a man's life.
Wait, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off. Did you say mainly women?
Yes.
Okay, no, okay. Well, hold on. No, I'm gonna stop you right there. Because in the dating thing that I've been doing right now, let me tell you how I had to cut a couple of fellas off the bat. Where they hit you with the can I get the picture and all of that. Oh, no, player wrong.
Okay, let me rephrase that.
I missed what you said. What did you say, Percy?
The shelf life for women is different from a man. Bottom line. Now that I got this, my phone don't stop ringing because of that. I'm still the same clown I was when I was 18, 19, 30, whatever. I'm a toddler with a credit card. But at the same time, if you watch some of the other Kevin Samuel chicks, it'd be a chick that's maybe 35 years old. Well, I got 2 kids, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Now, it doesn't take you out the game, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying it. That's not it. It's just that a lot of Black women, God bless y'all, I want to keep, I want a Black man, I want blah, blah, blah. And I understand your preference. And because you guys, as I was taught in school, y'all are the mother, the earth, whatever, and all sorts of stuff. You want to pass that seed on your genetic makeup and all that. And I get that. But at the same time, it's like, you got to do you. Do what makes you happy. Like how Tiffany said, if you do cars, there are groups out there that, have women, like I belong to a racing group. I don't race, I drive a Jeep. Women that race cars. And so you'll meet people that may not be what you thought you not needed when you was 18, 20, even 30, whatever, but you're meeting people who have similar interests. And you have, to me, the soil is more fertile for a relationship where you have commonality. Whereas like, when I was in these dating groups, it's like, well, he got to be 6'4", beards and blah, blah, and make 6 figures. Okay, well, you targeting your arrows at the smallest portion of society. So God bless you, and I hope things work out for you. Now, because I drive a fun car, I make cute babies, I got this. Okay, women will say, okay, well, he's more settled. He's got his career going. Huh?
Oh, God, go ahead.
Yeah, because women like beards. So, I mean, let's be honest with them. I'm an average looking cat, but, I got the beard, so I fit the profile. So that happens for me. Now, see, with women, once you throw the age out there, it's like, oh, what she look like? And it's not fair because y'all are judged on beauty. And this is the messed up part about it. I almost said the F word, is because everybody likes what they like. But when we're in groups, we'll talk about, Rihanna and Halle Berry, whoever's hot right now. But then all of a sudden, there's somebody who's right now on a porn site looking at every one of y'all. And some women who fit y'all profile. And that's the truth. So that's why, and he said, you get dudes.
You ain't gonna find me out there.
No, I'm not saying you want a porn site, but it's like we'll say one thing, but we'll go for something else. So Anisha, you're absolutely right. You know, so it's like, yo, I can't deal with that. But at the same time, you got to keep your radar open for a dude, other than homosexuals, you know, dude looking for a place to stay. Because a lot of us don't have our stuff together. You know, that's no reflection on you, but it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go and say something sweet to her, get in the head, and next thing you know, I got a place to stay with a couple. I'm using the internet right now, blah blah blah. You know, and so that's messed up. So it's a game, and I wish women would calibrate, you know, their game to what's out there for them, because they're as loyal, and I hate to reverse this, as dogs. You know, it's like, I just got a puppy. And they say it's no bad dogs, it's bad dog owners. See, you women, you want a man to be a man. You're falling into the role that God designed you for. But then there's some dudes don't respect that. Dudes ain't ready for that, and they want, you know, to get up, you know, to hang out with y'all. And they'll say what's necessary. They'll put on that facade and then become the people who they actually are. Now all of a sudden, man, that's why I can't stand. I get you, mama, but you know, and then a decent dude got to cut through all that damage in order to, you know, find out who you really are. You know?
That's why I say I agree with you, Percy, about women putting a cart before the horse, because women are emotional creatures. You know what I mean? We seem to attach more through conversation, more through action and stuff like that. And as you were saying, Anisha, like someone start to ask you for pictures and stuff. You know, men normally try and cater to what they see that the woman might like or might consider to be attractive. So if he's asking you for pictures, then he's probably thinking like, oh, well, that's going to make her believe that I'm really attracted to her and I really want to see her. But that could be his dog side. You know what I'm saying? He could have,
it is his dog side.
He could have other intentions, but you know, most men would try and say things that they think a woman would like, because in today's society, it's all about women look. You got to have the long hair, you got to have the big booty, you know, everybody going to run and get their body done and all of this stuff. So most men are going to tell you things that kind of fits that category of your body looks nice. Ooh, I'm so sorry, you guys. This was not supposed to happen. Yeah, so again, men will tell you things that, you know, they think that you would like. You know, I'm so thrown off, y'all. I really apologize.
It's so good.
But most of the time, you know, women, we are looking for that attention. We are looking for those accolades, you know, so a lot of times we'll fall for him and not really seeing the bigger picture of what he's trying to do. He's trying to manipulate you and get you in the bed faster, or he's, you know, he's trying to sexualize you, you know, things of that nature. I'm gonna step out for
So here's my thing. When I say pictures, let me put some clarity on the picture situation. It was asked by two that approached that wanted to date, and it wasn't like a regular picture. I'm like, but you see me right now, and it was like, well, can you send me a picture of what? So I had to go ask a few male friends, like, what is this thing with y'all? And off the bat, you asking a woman for a picture of herself. And
you know
so
what
now
that's
that
about.
leads back to Percy that you said. Some women have put that out there to allow men to.
But not just that. See, y'all not looking at the playing field the right way. We're visual.
And for a new picture.
Right.
I wouldn't ask for your resume. I'm gonna ask you for your picture. So it's like, okay, but hear me out. Because he want to see if the parts that he's interested in look the way he needs to look. So that's what he's doing. I mean, and it's I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, if you say, nah, dude, come on now, you know, whatever, you know, and just, you might be body conscious, or you might feel like, yo, you know, I see what you want, and that's on to you. But and you're not wrong for that.
Wait.
We're visual.
Let me say this. It's not a matter of me being body conscious, but you're not gonna ask me 15 minutes into the conversation, can I get a picture? What?
But see, we could be talking about a combination of things, because that could just be how he is and how he moves and what he's used to.
That's a roach move. Yeah,
You
he
know what
played
I'm
himself
saying?
with that.
And
Right.
it
So
may
that's
or
why
may not
I
have
said
been.
I had to go ask some fellas like, hey,
But that's what I'm
is
saying.
this supposed
So
to be
it could
happening?
be, so it could be just how he is, who he is. That's what he on. Yo, let me get some pics so I can see what I'm finna work with, or whatever the case would be. Or maybe he was testing the water, or maybe it was a whole bunch of things. But the only one who really knows that is him. One of the things that we touched on that I had wanted to get us to in the conversation was about projection and image or idea of what things are. Even when I asked you guys, what does femininity look like to you? What does dating mean to you? What does it look like to you? We all have different perspectives, perceptions, expectations, and all that on every single thing in life. And so even when it comes to a relationship and building that, somewhere we were introduced to this idea of what a relationship is. And for some of us, we held on to that in the mindset that this is what everybody was supposed to adhere to. And it's not the case. For some of us, we started encountering things, we started running to the same thing, and we started to get this mindset of all men are
Somebody
this.
sings about it in a song, and you believe that's the way it works.
All
No.
men are dogs. Every man want a woman that does this. Men need a woman to do. And the reality of it is, what it takes for a woman to be in a intimate, loving, long-lasting relationship with Percy is different from what it would take for a woman to be in that same situation with, I don't know, Tony, and with Steve, and you. So it varies. And the thing is, and I can't remember how you. I think you used the term calibrate with what you said at that point of calibrating towards what's available to us. Is first of all, identify who you are, and you need to be sure about that. Period. You need to understand your worth, who you are, what you bring to the table, and not even let me erase that last part. Not what you bring to the table, just who you are. Period. And the older I get, there's some things, because there's some stuff that's non-negotiables for me. Some people still don't have those things. It's like, I'm open to it all. Nope. I got some non-negotiables. I got some things I'm not budging on. But they're not, to me, they're not superficial things. It's how your heart moves and how your mind, how you think and how your heart is for me that are defining moments for me. But I know I'm gonna have to spend some time around a man to know what that is that he carries and whether or not it works. But I think we have to, we can't be pigeonholed into an idea of a relationship, because that may be why we're not getting into some of them, or why some of them are working, because I'm expecting you to this. He got to be, I think somebody mentioned the height, the complexion, how much he got to make, how much all these things, while those things play a factor in where you guys will go in life. Some of it may be things that it doesn't have to be it exactly in order for you all to build the life that you're thinking about building, because you may meet somebody who doesn't fit what you've been with your little magnifying glass looking for, and he pops up and he cool and y'all kikiing and y'all not even trying to date, and before you know it, y'all spending time and y'all enjoying each other's company, and he looks absolutely nothing like your list. He looks absolutely nothing like your list. But when y'all get together, you all have had the most amazing time, and you keep dating the same man or the same woman over and over again, getting the same response. But here it is, when you weren't even looking for it or trying to build something with somebody, just allowing each other to be your authentic selves, it built something. There was a connection that became undeniable, and it moves on. A lot of people I've asked the question that were married, did you marry your list? Is your husband who you thought you were actually looking for? And I had posted that on social media some years ago, and the responses I got back was no. Most of them
what you said is critical. What you said is critical, but see, that has a short ledge, because sometimes I'm gonna try something new, and then that person gets soured because it didn't work out. But then on the other end of that spectrum, you've been going out with the same dude, same type. I want a dude who's in the streets. He got to be a thug, but he got to be a CEO, and he got to be in the church. Come on, what the hell are you talking about? Now, that's just stupid. But see, at the same time, you grow. What I liked in my 20s is different from what I liked in my 30s, what I liked in my 40s. Now I'm 53 years old. So you evolve, and you hit that right on the nose. A lot of people don't have that discussion that acknowledges the fact that you have evolved. And that's, you know, what I hear come out of a lot of women. Well, he got it. Oh, hey, you don't even have that yourself. You know,
Right.
And then it was, well, he got it. Okay, well, you 5'2", asking for a dude who's 6'4". You know, that's stupid. So, you know, it's self-sabotage. And again, like, because
that's the problem.
yeah, and like I said,
Yeah.
Like that
one of the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Take that list out, and did you make sure that you fit on that list too? Why
I didn't hear the
asking
first
so
part
much
of
of
the
him?
show.
Are you asking the same things of yourself? Why you
No,
asking him to come with 6'4"? He got to make $100,000. Do you make $100,000?
No, because you don't want to date. You
have all
want
of
to
that stuff.
get out of jail free card. That's what you're trying to do. It's like, I'm tired of fighting Comcast, you know, and I'm fine with that. We all want the easy button in our life. But at the same time, see, a lot of women, they don't change with the landscape, because everything, you know, every woman on here is said, and I think we all agree on that, is because you're looking for what might have been relevant when you was taught game, but the game constantly evolves. And this is why I choose to use the word engineering rejection, because I am like, how did dude ask you for a picture? He should have learned that, okay, I just can't, that shouldn't be my opening line. Let me get her confidence first and get her believing I'm cool, and maybe I can ask her stuff like that. You know what? You know, because of COVID, I know we ain't gonna see each other. He send me a picture, blah blah. But yeah, he done made you laugh. He done got you trust, and made you feel more comfortable doing something like that. So that's what I mean by engineering.
Off the rip, you're not asking me for no picture and having a further conversation.
I think that's a clown move, but I'm 53 years old.
Well, here's the thing. I stopped the conversation after that. When you had, bro, let me help.
But not every dude you meet does that, though, right?
In this conversation, because unfortunately, I'm not that girl. I'm not.
Oh, Nisha, this phone is killing you, mama. You gotta.
So why I think in some cases it's like, or maybe in your case, why couldn't it have been well, it's too early in us getting to know each other for me to send you a picture. You know, I mean, because what if he
Who are
just
you asking that to? Me, Anisha?
No, Anisha. I said maybe could you have said it's too early for me to send you a picture? You know, we're just getting to know each other, you know. I mean, so
Tiffany,
it was just a picture thing for you, or was it more?
Tiffany.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a whole bunch of things, but what you're not gonna do is come at me 15 minutes into a conversation and ask me to send you a picture.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
He
asked them, because I heard her when she said that in the beginning.
No, not talking. I'm done.
We don't even know each other, and you want a picture. What you gonna do with it?
Yeah, I don't understand that move.
I don't know enough about you to send you a picture.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what I'm saying. But I mean, that's by him.
But if you don't know that,
for you
then
to
we already in two different places in our minds. If you don't come in the door, first of all, I would have felt me, nobody else but Monique. I would have felt disrespected.
I did. I did.
So you didn't even try to create an environment for me to feel safe enough to want to share a picture with you. And while we on the topic of pictures, don't you quickly send me one of you?
Absolutely.
Well, for me, this is my thing. Because as Percy said, and everybody agreed, the world is constantly evolving. I don't know what type of women this man have made previously dealt with.
You do know what type of woman he's dealt with.
Get to know you. I'm trying to get to know you. So 15 minutes in, us having a conversation. Well, and then again, we probably had a conversation, I'm hoping, longer than 15 minutes, because at some point we had to talk in order for me to give you my number. I had to find some type of interest.
It was a 15-minute conversation, so ain't no probably to it. It was 15 minutes in it, and this is when it came up.
No,
but you know what?
Though, before you got to that point, like, how did he get your number?
Are you asking me, did we have a conversation prior to that?
Okay, so what I'm saying is you guys had to possibly have a conversation prior to that, because he got your number. So
right,
if
so let me tell you,
he's in the getting to know you phase, right?
Let me tell you what happened. We have been in a couple of places with mutual friends several times. So we had small conversations before. Okay. So he approached me one time and said, you know what, been watching, can we hang out? Can we talk? Okay. Now, mind you, He had not done anything disrespectful before that point.
Mhm.
We were in settings with mutual friends and everything. We were all cool, having we had a good time. So I said, okay, I mean, it don't hurt to try, you know what I mean? So I gave him the number. Literally, Tiffany, when I played golf, hey, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? How's your day? It was good. How was your day? Oh, it was good. Hey, got a quick question for you. Yeah. Can I get a picture?
I got an
He
answer.
had already had in his mind from watching.
Exactly
He
what
he
he
was
was going to
watching
do.
you. He already had that set up. He already knew what he wanted. He
Mhm.
already knew
Okay.
that.
And
Thank
I
you,
shut it
Danielle.
down. No, you can't get a picture and serve.
And you know what? And this is where women mess up, is because, as Danielle said, he's engineering rejection because he's messing with them type of chick. Okay, cool, because low self-esteem chick. Let me send you these big boob chicks
Took the
pictures I got.
words out my
If
mouth.
that's not how you move, hold on. My mother's on the other line, and you hang up from it. Because that conversation, you're not gonna rehabilitate that dude because you giving him what he ain't used to. You know, because
Wait, I'm
hold on,
sorry.
15
Did you
minutes.
say he thought she was a low self-esteem woman?
No, if somebody, and I think we all agree on this stuff, if 15 minutes into the conversation, you're gonna give that dude a picture, he banking on you saying, okay, I'm trying to sell myself, so I'm gonna send you the best I got. This is me on the beach of Cancun, chilling. Boom, look at this. Boom, I just got surgery. So, that's what he's looking for. Because it's like, nah, I don't get down like that. So it's like, yo, hold on, that ain't gonna get no better. And you ain't gonna fix that nigga. So at that point, hey,
Which is
listen,
true.
my mother's on the other line.
Ain't even
Peace
my
out.
mother on the other line. You
And
just
I
getting
even-
hung up on.
you
Ain't no excuses.
Oh, curse you, Comcast, and yank out the plug of the internet. You're like, yo, and just walk away. And that's just
I
it.
think I'm
But
a
see,
little different. I just think I'm a little different. I think I would have
I said it.
Yeah.
Let me
Getcha.
come to you. I don't know exactly you've been used to dealing with, but I'm not. So really, this conversation cannot go on any further because I will not be sending you any pictures of me at all. So
You're not
look
his audience. Yeah, you're not his audience.
for yourself. And I ended it. So I had a conversation with some fellas, whole group of fellas, my barber and like 4 of the guys that were in the shop at the same time. And I said, y'all, hey, let me ask y'all a question. It's okay for you to approach a woman that you just met and then ask her for pictures. Now, this is 5 fellas that I'm talking to. 3 of them was like, absolutely not. 2 of them was like, well, why can't I? Y'all the 2 I want to talk to. Why do you think it's okay? And they broke it down because Nisha, I done dealt with women that if I ask that, they just gonna do it to. They just gonna give it to.
But we talked
That's
about
what
that
they
in the
want. I
beginning.
said, then I had to ask, well, do I have it imprinted on my forehead? Is it something that I'm giving off? They was like,
No, and
So
don't
he
beat
knew
yourself
from the
up.
beginning, but he just tried you to see if he
But
was gonna
I don't see why you letting this occupy the space in your mind. There's a principle in marketing. My degree is in leadership and business management. If you have 10 customers and 5 of them hate you, market to the 5 that do. When that person, this is what you learn as a dude when you're talking to girls. Okay, this is my audience. Yo, mama, can I get a picture? She gives me, yeah, that's the path of least resistance. I don't have to put much effort into moving that to the next level. You apply resistance. You are part of those 5 that ain't trying to buy the product that my man is selling. So you just say, hey, you know what? Peace out, Premier. Take me out with the favor. And you move on with your life. And that's it. It's not a knock on you. Don't take it emotionally because as a man, you deal with rejection all the time. No, mama, let me talk to you. No, screw you. Well, hey, mama, let me talk to you. Okay, cool. That ain't the right one, whatever. So you deal with rejection. And because you learn you ain't for everybody. But you knock on every door to somebody come out. Why do you think Jehovah's Witnesses still isn't busy? I mean, that's just the way it goes. So there's nothing wrong with you at all. This cat, he felt for cracks. He didn't get no cracks. You shut him down. Move on to the next one. You see you in the street. Hey, what's going on? Go ahead, Tiffany.
for me, I don't know. I think I'm a little different.
Why do you say that?
Let me say personally me. I don't know. I think in a getting to know you phase, I may give you like 5 red flags. Like that may have been a red flag for me. I don't think I would have just totally shut them down. One reason is because look at Mo with the deuces. One reason is because today's society and social media. You got to
That's
think
fair.
a lot of people are doing a lot of internet dating. When before they have an interest in you, they see a profile picture. Normally they strolling through to see a picture and see if they see someone that they possibly attracted to before they even go to the descriptions, what you like, and all this other type of stuff. So my thing is, I think I would have asked him, I would have told him off the back, I'm not sending you a picture. But I think I would have been, I don't know. I think I'm kind of feminine. I would have been like, so can I ask you, why are you asking me for a picture of myself? Like, we're just getting to know each other, maybe, just, I don't know. I don't want to come out real harsh because there could be a good gem in there, possibly, but he could have learned some things wrong from his boys through society. I mean, it's just a lot. Some men or women don't know it all. You know what I'm saying?
Tiffany,
and pick up bad habits.
I'm gonna tell you something I tell my daughter. Protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself. And this is where Anisha, I believe she did. Now, like how you said, you give a person a chance, but at the same time, the art of war is know your enemy. So with rejection, you learn a whole lot about not your enemy, but your opponent, which would be a woman. And you learn a lot about yourself because now I know I don't need to be on this lane. I need to be in this lane, whatever. I know this person's gonna go for this game, and I know this person ain't gonna go for this game. So as homie kicked it to Nisha and said, "Yo, throw me the picture, blah blah blah," and then she gave him a little pushback. If he didn't adjust his game, okay, to me that's strike two. So it's like, okay, now if he can course correct and be like, okay, well, what turns you on? I mean, like, what do you into? What do you do on the weekends? What do you watch? Then he can get inside your head and make you feel like he knows you as a person. So now you're disarmed and you're comfortable, and now you can, hey, you know what? Maybe the next call he can ask that deal. Because on one end of the fence goes, he's marketing to those 5 people that buy his product. Yo, mama, give me a picture. I thought you never asked. I just had surgery. Boom. This is right after the baby. Boom. Take a look at these D cups. And that's what he's going for. But then at the same time, if he's really interested in you, if he don't course correct, or either he start telling you, yeah, well, I had a long day of work and blah, blah. Guy, if you told me, no, you ain't gonna picture, right up there, cut your losses. Because there's somebody else who values your opinion. And once you broaden that net, you have a better chance of getting somebody who will value. He might not be as black as was it Idris Elba, but then again, this is somebody who enjoys working on cars like you do, or whatever other thing you're interested in. You sit up there, and let it be told, baby.
Tiff, I know there's nobody that's perfect, but you good because 5 red flags. You for 5 red flags.
I'm saying, like 5 red flags. Let me tell you something. I'm a person, I study people. So if I learn something from one particular man that he showed me a whole bunch of stuff, so when the other one come along, I'm able to pick, I'm able to say, you just like, oh boy, I see this, I see that. But if I just cut him off at that one particular thing, I didn't learn much. I need y'all to teach me. I want to know what's going on in y'all mind, what y'all got going on. And I don't really feel like I'm wasting my time because, again, I'm in the beginning, get to know you stage. Now, if he would have asked me to send a naked picture or something like that,
That's
what I didn't know it was a naked. Maybe I'm thinking just a regular. I mean, you got okay. Y'all know the grandbaby came in, and I didn't know it was a naked picture.
No, Tiff, it's a naked. I would have never acted that way on a regular picture. He asked for a naked picture.
Right. Okay, that's what I was asking. Like, how long did y'all
know? No. I would have flipped out on no regular picture. Now I would have sent the regular picture. I'm not like that.
Social media for a regular picture.
Exactly, but no, if he asked for a naked picture.
Oh no.
No, but see, and this is what I'm picking up.
She didn't specify, but it was just unsaid. You can just it's an inference. You know what I mean?
Tiffany, you can learn a lot from Danielle and Anastasia.
Before 15 minutes into a conversation, he actually naked picture.
Oh Oh, heck no. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Tiffany, you gotta learn how to read between the
Oh,
lines.
no. I'm just thinking like they just met each other. He
No,
don't have her Instagram
No.
or her Facebook, and he just asked, like, can I get a
No.
picture? Just to,
But if he was on her Facebook, don't he get access to all her pictures?
No, this is what I'm saying. I thought it was a situation where they just met each other. Like he doesn't have her Facebook, her Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. It's so much of them out. There's so many of them out there. I thought it was something like she said. They met through mutual friends. He had some interest and they exchanged numbers. And
Tiffany,
he asked for a picture. No,
Tiffany,
seriously,
protect
that's
yourself.
what I thought it was. I didn't know it was
Protect
a thing.
yourself.
No. If I would have
Anisha,
never
thank
got
you.
upset about a regular picture, not at all. No.
Tiffany, protect yourself, mama.
Can I get
That's-
a picture? And I did. I was thinking of what?
Oh no, I'm definitely not sending nobody no naked pictures. I don't even think I would send you a face shot if I just met you. I just met you. If you want to see my face, let's schedule a date or something like that. I like get to see or know because baby, people pray and do stuff over pictures. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that.
Tiffany, protect yourself, mama. I mean, that is
5 flags.
Yeah,
And you said
because
like that girl said, you good.
Every second of your life is precious. Every second of your life is precious. You got other things you could have been doing, whether other than spending time with somebody whose situation isn't aligned with yours. Now, I'm not saying either one is bad, but at the same time, if somebody asks you for a picture, like how everybody has said, and please don't think I'm picking on you. If he's gonna ask you a picture, if it's his Facebook, even if you don't have it, to me, I think that's a little out of pocket. But then again, I'm 53 years old. But if he can't come around, if you say no, watch how he responds. Everybody will tell you exactly how, if you listen carefully, they'll tell you exactly what they're thinking. Oh, well, you can't see a picture? And then all of a sudden the conversation gets quiet, it gets stale, you get less calls. You know exactly how you dodge the bullet. So at the same time, if the dude's gonna ask you for a picture, which I think is a whack opening line, find out about the person. This way, if all you want is, let's say, one thing, you fill in the blank, get to know that person and gain their trust, because then they might be, hey, listen, I want a little sugar in my bowl too. And then y'all both align. But at the same time, if you expecting a man to do right or a woman to do right for that matter, you kind of setting yourself up for failure because you're putting your expectations on their level of whatever. So it's like, okay, well, he didn't do it. So now you instantly become the victim. And I don't think that's fair to the other person because, he lets you know in so many words, this is what I'm out for. Hey, Anisha, send me a picture. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, hell no. Oh, well, my mother's on the other line. I'm gonna call you back later. But so now she done died.
Your mama always on the other line.
Listen, but at the same time, nobody deserves 5 and 6 shots. Because again, this topic is over 40 days.
Let me say this. A lot of times you can go into something thinking that it could be a possibility that it can turn into a relationship. And it might just turn into a great friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be that girl that you can come off wrong with, and I can check you gently. Like that's not how you come at a woman, and that's not how you do this. But I don't cut off the conversation, and we can probably turn out to be great friends. Where he'd be like, you know what, this sister, she really shared some things with me. She really educated me on some things about how you approach a woman. Or every relationship is not going to turn. Every situationship is not going to turn into a relationship.
I'm gonna say 2 words.
Might be a business partnership, a friendship, or acquaintanceship, whatever, or no shit at all.
Be open to new things, but first and foremost, protect yourself. Because the topic of the conversation is dating over 40. You should have a certain amount of equity and life experience to kind of inform, your instincts. Because you feel a certain way, and then also you've seen those things that justify the way you feel. Now, at the same time, if you're waiting for another person to make the right decision, again, you're being a victim. You're allowing something external to control an internal grace. I'm smart enough to know that there's no such thing as a $3 bill. If Halle Berry walked up to me, I'll be, oh, why are you talking to me? What's going on? You broke something, you need somebody to pay your student loans. Why are you talking to me? So at the same time, if this dude asks you for something, like he came out the gate with something, it is, Anisha said, sexual. But dude, we can be homies, but see, now I got to treat you to arm's distance to protect myself. because
see,
I know what you're about.
In that case, yeah. And like I said, he would get the boot. I didn't know that it was sexual. I
No,
did thought that in the beginning, but then I wasn't really for
I didn't
sure.
catch it either, but I assume that because that's how my brain is calibrated, because it's like it's a dude, because you don't ask for a picture up in front because, hey, we talking right now. I see you on Facebook. Now, another thing is like, okay, well, as you were saying, if you don't have Instagram, whatever, that should be a flag right there. Okay, everybody got Instagram,
Right.
Facebook, whatever story is. So it's like, okay,
Right.
yeah, I
And
know
mine
somebody.
I had multiples.
multiple
With different
and
names.
here's the thing, Tiff, he hung out with me. So he saw me up close and personal.
Well, see, that's why I asked. I was
Oh, yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
purpose of
I would have
asking.
never
Like,
got
It's
upset
okay.
about
That part didn't click for her, but here becomes the thing that I want to also speak on with that thing is even with the whole flag thing, because I get what you're saying where, okay, this came up and I could be like, that's not how you're supposed to approach a woman, this, that, and the other thing, because they need to learn. If people just keep letting them do it and nobody tells them better, then they may continue on in that, number one. But you have to be careful, especially giving out fast flags, because it can easily become a project. I'm not looking for a project. After 40, there are some things that I expect to be developed. I'm not all the way where I'm going to be. So I'm not saying that he has to be all the way where he's going to be. I feel like we're going to forever be growing and developing and maturing and getting better at this thing called life, wiser. At least I hope we are. But even when I said that there were some non-negotiables for me, there are some fundamental things that in order for me and you to start dating, to have conversations towards dating, to date towards marriage, whatever comes after dating that maybe before marriage is before engagement, whatever that situation looks like, there are certain things that you're going to have to show up with in your character, and how you communicate with me and how you handle me as a woman that you don't even know nothing about. So your basic handling of a woman, I need to be able to pick that up at our first encounter. And you asking me for a picture?
I think you played himself.
That's the type of character that dwells in you that I'm not interested in correcting, entertaining, or furthering this conversation with. For me.
Right. And then here's the thing, y'all. Again, I told y'all we hung out with mutual friends. We all sat around, had different conversations and everything. He never gave me a flag that something like that would come about. So for him to, when we 15 minutes into the first conversation and that to come out, it kind of threw me back. And then I was like, nah, bro, I'm not interested.
He just threw the whole bucket of red paint in your face.
Exactly.
That's truthfully, that ain't even a flag. That's some whole. That's a foul.
Right.
And I'm like, Mo, and I don't know. Daniel, I'm pretty sure all of y'all as a woman, I felt disrespected. Like, bro,
absolutely.
Hold on. What's that foul where you automatically get ejected out of the game? It's not a foul. What's that foul? But Percy don't watch sports either. But some of y'all,
there you go.
It's a certain type of foul that once you hit it, ain't no build up. It's just a wrap. You out the game. Whatever that foul is to me, him asking for a nude, that's what that was. So this wasn't even a flag on the play, because the flag you get to still play in the game. No. Ejected.
But see, that's what I'm saying. See, I didn't know it was to that level or degree of disrespect. I just thought he was asking for a picture, because I have had some men ask me to send
flagrant. Somebody just texted. It's a flagrant foul that gets you ejected out the game. That's what that was.
And
there's Tiffany, there's no harm in that.
Again, I had conversations with him. I had hung out with him more than once. Now it threw me off. Like, what do you mean?
But you know what? You hear women, and I've even heard maybe not so much. I haven't heard men say it, but I've had conversations with women who have been in relationships that just weren't good for them. And some of them, it took them a minute to come out, and they'll go back and they'll be like, there were flags in the beginning. And that becomes the thing. We don't pay attention to these warning signs. We don't pay attention to the flags. Some of us don't pay attention to the flags, and we keep going in. I'm too far in this game. I've been by myself too long that I'm not about to waste time with you still trying to figure
Let me tell you.
Foundational or fundamental things about respecting a woman. I'm not gonna do that. Now, Percy, somebody asked me to ask you to expound, but on YouTube we're a little bit delayed. So I don't know if you had actually got to the point where you were just said again, where you were kind of going into it a little bit, but if you can just expound a little bit for our viewers, when you kept telling Tiffany to protect herself, I get what you mean, because I just in my idea of what that means for me, but can you expound on a woman protecting herself just a little bit for clarity's sake?
You got to recognize game, and the only way you're going to be able to build this catalog of experiences by playing it. And then a lot of times you got to let go of the things that you may have defined yourself from a woman's perspective. Game, again, comes from a man learning woman. I talk to Mo, she shoot me down. I talk to Danielle, she shoot me down. I'm altering my game until I can finally work my way to Anisha, and then finally, hey, Tiffany, now I'm saying something ultra smooth because now I know the roadblocks. I know I'm not gonna ask Tiffany for her picture. I'm not gonna ask her to come pick me up, because my car's in the shop and all stuff. So that's how you tailor your game. It's that situational awareness, because women want to fall in line and be the woman they're supposed to be. I want a man to lead me, blah, blah. Most women usually do. But then not everybody's ready for that. So, I hope this kind of clarifies what I'm saying. So because that factor might be written on a rock, it's written in pencil. So it's not really always the way it's gonna be. So you meet somebody and then we kicked it, we was having a good time at the bar. We hung out at my man's house, we had a good time. Then all of a sudden you pick up the phone, as Anisha said, yo, mama, so why don't you send me a picture? Hey, what you do? You speak. So then the next guy, he got to go and fight through that bad experience in order to try to get closer to you. So I call that latent player hating, if anything, because now you feeling bad, and you're hurt, rightfully so, because some dude didn't have his game together because he used to fishing at the shallow end of the pool, and now he met a woman with some depth, and now it's like, send me some booty pictures. And then so it's like, oh, dude, come on. Oh, because that used to happen to me all the time. You get that little red light on your phone when you're back at work. Person, you get this call, let me know. And then it's bad. And he called and starts out, let me tell you about your man. Oh, what happened? Derek, right? Oh, what happened, man? And that's, that's what kind of made me say, wow, okay, let me pay more attention to this story. I mean, I'm not a pimp, none of that stuff. But women have to evolve with the times that evolve. You have the classic stereotypical expectation of a relationship, but you got to stay in the boundaries of being a woman, meaning women don't pursue for the most part, but men do, because they shoot their shot. Okay, it's kind of handsome. Okay, cool, whatever. Then, bow, 5 minutes into the game, bang, shot himself in the foot. Okay, he ain't gonna get no better after that. If somebody say, wait a minute, let me stop. Anisha, I messed up. That was a little out of pocket. I'm gonna apologize. My mother didn't raise me up. Maybe he can recover, because if there's some type of genuine remorse in his actions, maybe, yeah, okay, cool. But at the same time, it's okay. Let me ask another way. Besides Brian, you with? Oh, it ain't gonna get no better. At that point, you just need to tap out. If you can salvage that relationship to be that homie that you were talking about, God bless you. But and even Jesus knew he couldn't save everybody. So that's just the way the world was.
Good, because how they can rebound, but that's in certain things, and you have to be able to discern the sincerity of where they're coming from. Was this just one of those? I literally, for whatever reason, because of the women I'm used to encountering, and he may not have even started out asking for pics. He may have just started talking to a chick, and next thing you know, in the middle of the conversation, they start sliding them pics. So in his mind, this is what women are doing today. Let me ask, yo, Nisha, let me get a pic. So it could have been a combination of things, but for me, it's a flagrant style. You got to go. Now, in the process of me relinquishing you of your rights and access to speaking to me, you can still kind of side-eye redeem yourself, because depending on your comeback from it, depending on what I pick up in my spirit, I may lean into here, but my eyebrow is so raised and my side eye is so gangster that you may not even be able to get back to whatever little bit of trust I have for you to even have access to that. Because that's another thing. I think you said it, Percy, earlier about valuing ourselves, and you were saying how our time was valuable. And things of that when you was talking to Tiff. And so it kind of becomes that thing like, I'm how much are we really going, how far are we really going to get if I'm going to keep side-eyeing you? Because now I'm looking for that other brick to come flying through the window or whatever the case would be. So it kind of becomes this thing where it's like, this ain't for me. And maybe I'm not for you because you do like them chicks and don't have a problem with that. But I don't want to make this rest of this all about that particular situation because you was talking about something and I had a question for you. You're dating this chick. You're feeling her, y'all done move to whatever what comes after dating? Somebody can answer that, one. But two, what I wanted to ask you from the portion of it, you really feeling her, you digging her, whatever the case may be, you may even be considering her. Actually, I got a third part too. So she proposes. Do you accept?
It depends on what we're going to, if we align. I mean, like you're in a constant state of audition. If this is where your plan is going, she want to have kids, you want to have a family, blah, blah. Okay, well, listen, I want to move to California. I want to be a rock star. That ain't going to work. So, I mean, compromise is currency in a relationship. So at that point, you know, it's a whole lot of variables. It's like, okay, well, cool. You know, this is, maybe I can start being myself. Okay, you know, I fart in the bed, I drink milk out of the container in the refrigerator. Okay, cool. Well, I do this, I'll leave the toilet seat up. Fine, no problem. Those things balance themselves out. You know, she make more than him, and he's a teacher, you know, making $29,000. There's nothing wrong with that. Because, you know, all right, well, he got to make, okay, well, cool. This is what works in your life. So you got that leveling part. So if everything fits, and this is the person where it's like, yo, I enjoy being with this person after we close the deal, so to speak, then okay, maybe, yeah, because now, you know, we just enjoy each other's time. You know, did I say the wrong thing? Yeah, but you know, we're being adults. I mean, you know, if it's a physical thing, then it's gonna be that. And a lot of times people get caught up in the physical thing. But at the same time,
so you would be okay with a woman proposing to you?
I'm a little old-fashioned and stuff, but I don't want you doing that on Facebook because you don't advertise me. You know, because it's my role. I use an unchurchy word, but I'm cool with the gay community. Don't get me wrong. But you know, that's supposed to be a man's role. But you know, you do what fits you. You know, and I don't want to, you know, put my impression on anybody. If you happy and do this with it, God bless you. Invite me to the wedding. Let me know when you register, and that's fine. But you know, you dealing with everything in real time. So a lot of times you gotta let go of the things that you held value to because that might be what's actually binding right now. You know, it's like how you saying before. Well, he got her. Okay, well, you know, you want to do making six figures now. One thing I've been around dudes who make millions. And they are a-holes completely. Why? Because everything in life tells me I'm successful, so I'm better than the next man. So I've seen dudes roll up in parties, be like, B word, you see when I'm driving. And that's not everybody, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, that affords you more opportunities. The same way a Rihanna can walk into a room and say, I want to talk to that guy, blah, 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 whatever. So these are the things that work. So back to what you're saying, you know, whatever works for you. Know your lane, know your audience, understand the game. And
Percy, she asked
hello.
you.
Percy?
He said he old fashioned. He kind of answered it. So
no, but I wouldn't shoot her down.
Was you kind of hear? I've heard the statement of from some men where they'll make the statement of a man knows when he first meets a woman what he wants from her. Whether she's someone he consider marrying, he's just somebody she's playing with. She's somebody he wants to get to know. Whatever the case may be, he knows this from the jump.
You can tell that from the vibe. I mean, from the Kevin Samuels homework you gave us. When you was talking about how he was like, okay, but she played herself. So dude knew he was there. So right now, if that was a dating situation, I'm gonna smash that and I'm gonna keep moving. Now, at the same time, if you present yourself like you about something, I can build with this person. We have commonality, we align, we got things going on. It's like, okay, because you see somebody and it's the energy there. You know, sometimes you got that. Sometimes the energy builds. And I think this is what Tiffany was getting. Okay, cool. You know, I kind of thought you was this way, but you actually this way. Or you introduced me to something inside of myself that I didn't know I had. So back to answer the question directly, if she proposed to me, I would want it to be the other way. But see, now I got to think about what kept me from proposing. What kept me from making the next move. So it's the same time, she might have been ready, and I may not have been ready. So it's like, baby, you know, you're important to me. But this is what I got going on. I owe $80,000 in student loans. I got 7 more years of child support, whatever, and I'm only working here. You know, and so that might be, I got you, blah, blah. I make, $200,000 and my father's rich. Okay, cool. He might be cool with that. He might be cool being stagnant, but maybe he might be like, hey, listen, whatever. But for me, it's you go with what works for you. You know,
Explain that mindset right there for me, though.
what,
She's
what
good,
exactly?
you like her, this is something, this is a place you want to be, but your response in, okay, but I still got 7 more years of this, I still got to do this. Like, what about that makes a difference in me being ready or wanting to marry you? Like, what about that mindset is saying that we can't get married because of this?
Well, that depends on the individual. Now, if that person is like, okay, I am defined by how much money I make, then okay, yeah. If you're a teacher, you're probably doing the most important job on this planet. You're teaching the youth. You setting the tone for the world. And you're only making, let's say, $27,000 a year, whatever the story is. But your woman makes $100,000 because she's somebody's CFO. If you cool with that, if you can deal with that, fine. But another dude may not feel like he may be insecure. Like, yo, okay, I don't make enough money. Are you gonna leave me for somebody making more? So it's a whole lot of, it's an algorithm going on in somebody's head based on their experiences, their insecurities, their values and all types of stuff. In the same way it is for you. Like a woman, it's like, listen, I'm tired of playing this game. I'm tired of meeting these shippers dudes. You seem like you cool. Yeah, let's give it a shot. I enjoy being with you. But his mind might be like, yo, I ain't ready for this, blah, blah. And because it's a lot of responsibility in being somebody's husband. Y'all expect a man to be a man. That's a hard job. When you hurt, you got to act like you ain't hurting. You got to kill spiders. Some dudes are scared of spiders. And all types of, and some people ain't ready to handle responsibility, being a father, being the head of the household, all that stuff. So sometimes that might be your sign. Say, hey, listen, maybe I'm trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. So there's a whole lot of stuff that goes to a man's head. It's just like, and I hear that one woman is the prize. Okay, cool. But, that requires maintenance. Am I up for the job? Am I going to fail? Am I set myself up to fail? And that's kind of mature, answer, in my opinion. You being honest with yourself. But nobody wants to say, hey, I ain't ready for this. But sometimes they do say.
But can I say something to that? I had a lot to say to other stuff, but it kind of
jump in, Mom.
So I will say this. So then why, if, even though dating is different to everybody, and dating is, I would say, universally getting to know somebody, right? And you are in a relationship long enough to where you may be exclusive. If you are not ready to marry or take it to that next step, then why even continue? Like, why even date if you know that you're not ready for that responsibility? You know what I mean?
Yeah, clearly. You're talking to a man, right? This is a woman talking to a man. That's the scenario you painted?
I mean, in general.
That's your answer. I'm getting everything I want. I got companionship. I get a hot meal on Sundays. I get sugar in my bowl. I'm good. Boom. So it's like, why do I have to get married? So, and some people ain't ready for marriage because that requires a commitment. That requires responsibility and accountability for your actions.
But then where is your mindset in regards to commitment when you're in the relationship, though?
I think
options
too much, too fast.
No more calls.
I said, I think women give away too much too fast. And so this is why they feel like they don't have to marry. They don't have to marry us. I mean, if you meet him and y'all spend some time together and now you guys are dating, going out to eat and having sex and doing all, it's like what grandma used to say, you're allowing him to milk the cow. I don't
Why
know.
Buy the cow when you can get the milk?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what he's saying. He's saying that. It's like we give up too much trying to keep a man. So it's like I'm getting everything that, I would have had to work hard to get with another woman who has standards, and morals. So it's like, why marry her?
Well, you're right, because my mindset is abstinence. So you're right. For those who are giving
abstinence, Tiffany said
all those benefits, if you will, or that should be within the confines of covenant. If they're already getting that, so then I can understand.
But hold on, it's not as binary as y'all want it to be. Tiffany's right on point. See, in order for me to, that means change. Let your phone ring at 11 o'clock at night while your man is over at your house. See how that changes the dynamic of relationship. Because now that person now knows that there's somebody else who's who's interested in what this dude is claiming. If he ain't claiming you, then say, yo, dude, hold on, you never said we was exclusive. And then, that story's gonna change. All of a sudden, this dude gonna be suiting up getting fitted for a tuxedo and all this other good stuff if he's serious about it. Because change is hard, whatever it is. I've been single all my life, I've been doing X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. Now I gotta change. I gotta see woman, I gotta wake up to you and your eye boogers. I gotta listen to you tell me about your girlfriend. I was just trying to destroy you and all this other good stuff. And that, and that's cool. That's what a relationship is. But at the same time, you want to be with the person who's going to tell you about the girl who's eating her stuff that she puts in the break room and the eye boogers and learning how to put the toilet seat down. That's the stuff that you say, okay, I'm going to change it. But if a dude ain't, pimping exclusivity, we serious, blah, blah, blah. Number one, that's your first cue because he's not taking the lead. If, y'all really vibing or something like that, before she spends her money on that ring, what's your plan? What's going on? Because then that requires that's accountability. I gotta make a plan. I gotta pick a team. So if you're not getting that, it's okay. No, it's not. It's not a problem. So in that point, you should put in your mind, okay, well, listen, maybe this is just physical. I done gave, dude the milk for like a year and a half. Let that phone ring 11 o'clock at night. See what happens. Yo, who that? Why you hiding your phone?
So with what Mo has said, like, I know every male is different. Every person is different, but every male is different. So like, cause how they say, some men or most men know by 6 months whether they want to, what I mean, marry a woman or not. Do you agree with that? What do you?
Oh, everybody's different. Right. Because, and it's like, because somebody, I want to get to know, because then, it's a whole mix of emotions. You got that physical feeling, you get the emotional feeling, and something's magnetic. And then sometimes it's like, yo, this is the person who I enjoy being around this person. So you like different people for different reasons. And, and so it's not all, I'm not saying you're wrong at all. You're not wrong at all, but it's not always the same thing. And there is no easy button with this stuff because we're humans and we have flaws, we have experiences to change us, we have phobias and all types of stuff. And that's things you got to factor into the equation, So it's like, you got to find out, okay, number one, know what you want. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm trying to get. This is what I'm trying to get. This is what I know about myself. And this is what I'm willing to give up and compromise and make this relationship work. If you're not getting reciprocity, tap out, say, hey, listen, we need to adjust this. Wow, okay, cool. And again, let that phone ring 11 o'clock at night while y'all sitting around watching the Jeffersons and see what happens. See how they act.
So I got a question for you, Percy. Here's my question.
Look out now.
So we're dating or whatever. At what point is it too soon to give your expectation?
I don't have an answer for that. You kind of feel like, okay, well, like because it's always a leap of faith. It's like, okay, well, listen, I'm really feeling this chick. Yo, check this out. This is what I'm thinking. I hate seeing those videos where dude bought a ring, had all his friends and cameras, had something staged, and then he presents the ring, and mama's like, oh. You can tell, she got the smile on her face, but her eyes say something. It's like, oh, wow, that's just, it's bad. So, it's like, okay, is this the right thing to do? This is what goes on. So you roll the dice, you say, yo, boom, spend the rest of our lives together. Well, okay, cool. And hopefully, that's traumatic. Nobody likes rejection, so that's traumatic. But, like when you spend a lot of time and all that stuff like that, I don't think a woman's out of order asking, where are we going with this deal? But you got to have that situational awareness to know where it's like, okay, it's been 5 months and you've been staying in my house 4 days out the week. Where are we going with this? Well, you might have the right to ask, but you may not like the answer you get. So it's not one answer. Everybody's just a little bit different. Some people don't want to be married, because like I said, it's accountability. And then, it's accountability for that. And there's commitment. And that's just kind of hard. That means I got to change. If I'm going around hanging out, doing what I got to do, that's on me. I'm enjoying life. But then all of a sudden, now I got to get up in the morning, look at you, go to bed, look at you, tell you where I'm going to be at. I ain't ready for that. Then I got to be a man anyway,
They're doing that anyway.
Here's the thing, but okay, how long am I just supposed to just date you and then I guess it's for me, I guess I'm asking, like, let's put the expectations off the bat. Like, if I'm one that wants to get married, or he wants to get married and I don't, then why why would I waste his time? You know what I mean? To keep in this whatever we doing, and he want to get married and I don't.
I can help you with that. I can help you with that. What time do you come home? What time do you get in your house?
What time do I? What you mean?
Yes. What time? What I said. What time do you get in the house?
Percy, she about to hang up on you right now.
No.
No, she's on the host.
What time do I get in the house?
What time do you get in your house? It's not a trick question.
What time do I get in the house from where?
You tell you if you want to tell me, fine. What time do you put your
Had
key
a
in the lock?
conversation with me, Percy.
Thank you, Mo. Mo, what time do you get home?
Okay, I'm sorry.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, you messed up. Yeah, what's that, Mo? 7 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay, come home at 7 and let your guy be there. The next thing, come home at 8. And you're gonna find out where his head is at. Then come home at 9. Change your pattern up. And dude, you're gonna be on the radar, like, yo, mama, yo, what's going on? You know, you home, you know, Jefferson, we watch Jeffersons, what's going on? So then you're gonna see where that dude's head is at, right then and there. See, Anisha, you had the answer, but you wanted to play all, you know, Kevin Samuels on me.
Now, literally, I didn't know.
It wasn't a trick question.
What time do I go home? What time do I get home? And let's be honest, I work from home. So had you asked the question, that's why I was asking, like, what do you mean? What time do I get home from where?
But what I'm getting at is once you change your pattern, then you're gonna see, you know, what happens. Change is hard to deal with. So now you've been this person, he got you figured out. You know, she gonna be home at 5 o'clock, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. Let me just be, it's 4:45, let me go in the house, blah, blah. Hey, baby, what's going on? How you doing? You come home at 7? Yo, hold on, what's going on? So now you can have a real conversation at that point. You know, baby.
Change your clothes when you're going out from how you used to dress, you usually dress. So basically what you're saying is sometimes you don't have to ask the question. You can just change up the norm.
Yeah.
But then to me, that's playing games. That's playing games. Now y'all talked about certain things that y'all not gonna deal with. I'm not gonna deal with playing games. Why are we playing these games? This is like teenage stuff. You come in the house, change the pattern. We ain't gotta do all that. We grown. Nigga, where you been? I mean, you want to store? I mean, it's
she said, nigga, where does it say that in Ecclesiastes? Nigga, this is no, but you know, Tiffany, you're absolutely right. But see, at the same time, the world
of all the books in the Bible, do said Ecclesiastes. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, it's a funny name. But Tiffany, what I'm trying to say is you have to deal with the cards you dealt. And even though how things should be, okay, cool. You invested your time into this. Listen, X amount of months, years, whatever the story is. At some point, it's like, yo, what's the next step? If he ain't making the next move, if he ain't leading, okay, then you got to pick a team. Either you're going to stay on that train ride and get you the way you want to go, or you're going to say, let me go and change the dynamic this way.
I just feel like that's manipulation, Percy. I'm not going to try and manipulate anyone to want to be with me. I mean, if you can't see the value in who I am and what I am, and you don't want to ask to marry me after we've been dating for so long, then, I mean, this relationship is going nowhere. I mean, at 6 months, I should know what your intentions are towards me, you know, before 6 months.
But hold on, you were willing to have a conversation about why ask for a picture, but you're not willing to have a conversation about why we still in this space and you still haven't proposed?
Well, everybody's different. Everybody, and Tiffany, what you say, I don't want to sound dismissive of what you said, because you're absolutely right. People play games. People also cross the street when the light says don't walk. So there's no set rule on human behavior. You got to play the cards you dealt with. And so, yeah, your expectations make perfect sense to me, but the person you're with may not be thinking the same way you do. So at the same, either going to move the game to benefit where you trying to go, or either you can, you know, either cut them off completely or either stay on that train. You know, so I mean,
red flags. I mean, at some point, it's like
you gave him 5 red flags if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, yeah, 5 red flags. You might be scared of dogs, like you said. You might not want to kill a spider. The man I want to be with, I hope he can kill a spider. But I mean, it might be something. I'm not just saying let's take it off of the picture. Yeah. I mean, it could be certain things that I like in a man that you may not have, and that could be a red flag for me. Because I have what I desire to want to have, my picture of the man that I see myself fitting with. But a lot of times we won't know that. A lot of times we don't even really know what we like. Hell, I was married for 20 years and I'm just now discovering a lot of stuff of what I like. Am I mute?
Yeah, no,
No,
you get.
we can hear you.
Right.
No, but see, you got to understand, and this is where a lot of women mess up. You're not in this game. It's like tennis. You're not playing by yourself. You're dealing with another human being that has flaws, fears, and all types of stuff. So you got to try to position yourself because it's all a game, regardless of what you think and where you think should be. It's all a freaking game because this guy, he might be scared of whatever. He might be scared of commitments. All these other things may not be ready for. Maybe his mother didn't hug him enough. All types of different things. And you got to do what's necessary in order for you to come out the other end winning. So I think that should be it. So, I mean, what you're saying, I subscribe to that, but I know it just doesn't work. I would like for people to follow the rules and be honest with themselves and all stuff like that, and be honest with the people they're with, but they're not always like that. So you have to go and have situational awareness. That's why I say you're managing rejection. Because this guy's keeping your expectations where it needs to be so you don't leave, but all of a sudden you're going to tweak that and you come home at 7 o'clock. Now he on point because you done changed it. So now he got to calibrate his game to fit where you're at because now he's feeling like he might lose you. So it's like, oh, wow, hold on, something's changing. So I get that. But see, remember, I'm a man and I pursue. So my perspective is going to be different from yours. At the same time, we also have just as many, maybe more flaws than women. So you put trust in a flawed vessel. So you got to protect yourself. It all boils back down to that.
Well, I want to
game.
And say something about that. You said most men pursue. Shoot, this 2021, I'm seeing a lot of women pursuing, some more than men.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. I have a question. So you're talking about men pursuing, but what about the man? Because I think I have a few admirers, but they're watching a whole lot, but ain't said nothing.
Flirt.
Maybe they're not really admiring. They just because sometimes we read things the wrong way as well, and then we put ourselves in situations where it's like, oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not saying that because to myself, I'm all that in a bag of chips. However,
you should think that way.
But listen, but no, but I'm not being facetious, but really,
I know.
Yeah. So why would they be watching me like they do? What are they watching? And admiring doesn't necessarily have to be a sexual thing. You know what I mean? They could admire my drive. They could admire my, the spiritual side of me. They could admire, my femininity. They could admire
the spiritual side.
I mean, my personality.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, but all of that is in the same bag. Now, I don't know the male equivalent of kicking game. I mean, the female equivalent of kicking game.
Y'all been trying to shoot me down, Mo. Talk about these.
No. But see, I doubt if anybody.
Somebody might have told you. Well, approach it, ask, inquire, but then you go approach it. How do you approach and ask? And then if you do, he said it about something else. You ask the question, but you might not like the answer.
I'm not asking.
And they're like, oh, my bad. Then you feel kind of whatever. If you're out there and you're admiring NT1, and I meant NT, not any, NT1, you go ahead and you approach them, and don't be sitting back watching. But maybe they still if they are interested, maybe they're still waiting to see something to make sure it's something, you're someone that they want to approach. Could be a few things, but
men are just a lot of men are scared of rejection.
Go far anyway, because I got mouth, I got a whole bunch of stuff. So if you scared in the beginning,
coach.
What do you say, Percy? Men got.
I'm no relation. Yeah, men are scared of rejection too. A rejection is whack. You just get used to it. I mean, you never really get used to it. You just get better at handling. And it's Ms. Mo just said, if dude ain't kick it to you, I mean, it may not be the dude you really want to be with. Because I mean, I don't know, you might be like, okay, well, I thought you was, you were 6'4", Idris Elba is looking, but you kind of, you're not really. And I don't know the female equivalent of kicking game to a dude or what's within your boundaries and that. But as you said, you should always feel like you're a bag of chips. But think about it. Somebody may be allergic to potatoes. Somebody may be, we could have high blood pressure, can't deal with the salt. So you're not going to be for everybody. You're not gonna be for everybody, and that's fine.
Now that is gonna be my opening question. You got high blood pressure?
Can
You
your
got
heart take this?
diabetes?
Can your heart take this? You know, but you know, and that's fine. But you know, and it's just
isn't there a way like you can still approach a dude, you know what I'm saying, to kind of
I know, but now I'm not ready for that, Mom. I'm not ready for that.
Sometimes how we present ourselves, our confidence reads as unapproachable to some. And like you said, some of them have their own insecurities and you know, or whatever the case may be. And so maybe they're a little timid. Like there's a way to just spark up a conversation to kind of, hey, you're safe.
Right.
You know, you're without being all Queen of Thotland, you know what I'm saying? And throwing yourself in, you know, whoring yourself out or whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's a way to be classy and just spark up a conversation.
Yell is like if the men don't find a good thing.
Look, and you've been watching all this time. Look, ain't no, they know I'm approachable. They know. Because my personality is what it is.
So if they're admiring, they know you approachable, but ain't approached, then again, maybe they're not admiring.
Or maybe they're not ready. Because I mean, like, how
not
would you feel? No, but see, you gotta look at all because it's what's the
so
word? It's
why
nuanced.
somebody like that though? I'm sorry, Percy.
Because we're men, we're visual.
Eyesight,
you know, yeah. Because I'm sorry, Mom.
I was like, maybe she just in their eyesight all the time.
No, and you know, maybe dude is just creepy, or maybe dude is like, yo, I would like to talk to her, but I got 2 roommates, whatever stuff. How she gonna feel about that? Maybe my situation ain't right. It's a whole lot of things that maybe dude ain't ready for that next step, or whatever story is. And you know, and if you feeling him a little something like that, you know, take him lunch, okay, take you lunch, whatever. I mean, if you're confident like that, and I don't know how he received that, because some dudes just turn up like, oh, how dare you know, like, yo, I never take a Big Mac from a woman, you know, something stupid like that. And then you know, it's I don't know.
Don't get along, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a Big Mac fan
Maybe
either,
they
but you know, it's
your beauty and they don't feel like they, you know,
yeah, because you know, we have insecurity issues too. I mean, you know, for the longest, I mean, I was very shy in high school, so I mean, you know, we have insecurity issues.
You shy,
right?
Okay, yeah.
And here's the thing, Danielle, they probably are admiring you, but unfortunately, like Percy said, I have found out men have insecurity. You don't think so? Men have
move on to the next. Yeah,
well. He may not think that he's worthy enough to say anything to you.
Yeah.
See, I don't like
for people nothing to do with you. Though. It could be all of him. And he may be trying to step his game up to come at you the right way because he know I gotta come with it in order to get with her, and I gotta come the right way to her. So it's not you. It's not you. It just means they may not be ready. They don't know how to. And unfortunately, it's something that don't know how. They don't know what to say.
Right. It's a lot of it because we learn game from other dudes, and sometimes the other dudes tell us stuff that's complete caca. Now, I grew up in Harlem, and then, you know, all the chicks I like, you know, they had Louis bags and fur coats and stuff like that. And that was back when Suzuki Samurais and Beepers was popping. You know, it's back in the 90s when have you. So I didn't feel like I was on that level. You know, I had an after-school job. I was working in a supermarket. You know, I wasn't driving a Suzuki Samurai, so I wasn't pimping like that.
I can't.
But then all of a sudden, you know, you find out once you get a little older, you see the facade. And it's like, oh, hold on, wait, this is BS, man. You know, it's like, that coat is what, you know, she shared with her girlfriend. And on top, there's a fake Louis bag. And on top of that, you know, she's having kids just so she could pump up her WIC money or something like that, WIC check money. So, you know, it's a lot of BS like that. Did you find out as you, so that's what I mean by situational awareness. You started to see, okay, this is how the world moves. Everybody ain't for everybody, and that person may not be in that right space to talk to you, something like that. Move on to the next. You know, it's not, don't wait for a guy to approach you. I mean, you know, whatever you can do to find yourself in put yourself in his orbit, I recommend you do it. You know, within, you know, your boundaries of how you carry yourself and how you want to be perceived. You know. And also go outside, try something new. Find yourself a little snowflake, a little pinky toe to go out there, you know, whitewater rafting with you, something like that. Introduce you to bears.
You said go out there and do what?
Find yourself a little pinky toe, you know, find yourself a nice handsome white man.
Ain't go-
Oh, so the Lord made the rainbow. I'm not boxed in. Believe me when I tell you.
You winning.
That's not my mindset.
You are winning, yeah. So I mean, it's just it's you know, it's a lot of times there's nothing wrong with you, and other people. My pops just say it's all the time. Everybody got their own sack of rocks to carry, you know, and then because he dealing with his own BS, you know. So it's like, you know, when I was working in the supermarket, I didn't think I could talk to that chick with the fake Louis bag, but now I know, because now I get those texts. Hey, big head, did you see my first son's 21st birthday yet? Yeah, you got pregnant early in life. I remember. Yeah, no, you know, and that's just it. You know, I wasn't popping back then. I'm not popping now. You know, so. But
Because you
that's
got
just
that beard. Because you got that beard, Percy.
yeah.
Can
But
I
it's
ask
all good though.
Percy,
Yes, ma'am.
are men more attracted to women who have kids than women who
No,
have kids?
no. But then hold on. Don't think that takes you out of the game. Not at all. How you handle your business is what matters. You know, if you up here, well, man, hey, stop, boom, because now you seeing, yo, she got 3 kids. Christmas is gonna be whack for me. So I don't, you know, that's you kryptonite. But at the same time, if you got 3 kids and you handle your business, yo, she cool, okay, cool. You know, I got a good life support system. Mom is taking care of the kids. I can hang out a little something, and y'all vibing and connected. Gradually, you know, let that become what it's gonna be. Don't let that discourage you. But don't listen to Kevin Samuel and stuff like, yeah, I'm on a 6. Yeah, hold on, work your way up to that. You know, it's now because I mean, when I was dealing with a chick with a kid, I'm worried about meeting the kids, establishing a relationship, and then meeting the baby daddy. So those are 3 things. It's like, ugh. So that only complicates. Now, if it's just me and you, we can chill. Okay, whatever, blah, blah. We stay up late. Oh, yo, you got to go to work here. Use my toothbrush, whatever the story. And now it's like, you know, do what you got to do. We're adults. So, but I mean, you do what you got to do. But see, you know, at the same time, like I said, do not let that discourage you. Just be you, shine. Just, you know, hey, I'm fun to have a good time. So now I say, yo, I enjoy this. Yeah. And another thing, like a lot of women, they expect a man to lead, and the man is supposedly, a lot of chicks is just dry, boring. They don't have nothing to talk about. They're not funny. They don't watch anything that I'm interested in or whatever the story is. So it's like, did you hear about the Real Housewives of Atlanta? No, I didn't. So at that point, you know, I'm reduced to like doing like, you know, like magic tricks, knock jokes, because I'm out of material. It's like, yo, I ain't got nothing in common with this chick. You know, she got things. She's God, but it's so now it's like, you know, and so I don't see anything past the physical in it. She's beautiful, but you know, being with her, you get that like that the fatigue feeling in the back of your throat because you run out of material. It's like, oh, you're like, oh. Hey, Keisha, how are you? Yeah. Oh, your kids are home. Cool. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna watch Jefferson. I'll call you later. Cool. And that's just it. But don't think that's something that's gonna hold you back. You gotta rock it. You gotta manage that so it doesn't become an obstacle in the relationship. It's situational awareness. You gotta deal with that. You might find a dude who's like, yo, I love kids. Let's go in the backyard and get on the trampoline or whatever. You know, you can find that. I'm sorry.
I said, I don't know about all that. It was just a general question, but no, you're not gonna meet me talking about let's go in the backyard and play with your kids. I don't even know you. You want to go play?
Yeah, that can be creepy. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like everything has water seeks its own level. So I mean, you know, you gotta try to position yourself so you can get ahead of the game. That's my thoughts on that. You know, because I know a whole lot of awesome women. They come with these same questions. You're like, yeah, you know, I got my degree, blah, blah. You know, has a dude ever asked you about your GPA? If he asks you how much money you make or what car you drive, that's not the way it works. You're looking at this game from the woman's perspective, but you're forgetting there's 2 sides of this coin. It's what the man is thinking and what the woman is thinking. So if you only see the woman's perspective, you only seen half the game. A dude is trying to figure out how you think so he can say the things to you in order to get to where he wanted to be at. Y'all got to do the same thing too. A lot of women have figured that out. And they're getting paper, they're getting dates, they're getting proposals. You know, but a lot of them are like, man, okay, stop listening to Rihanna, Mary J. Blige, and all this other bull stuff.
So you just said something that was really good, and we're gonna have to bring that back on another show. And that was really diving into the fact that men, when they're having a conversation or they're moving through life, they're coming from their perspective, from the male perspective, and then the woman from the woman perspective. But us finding that medium where we can actually understand each other and communicate effectively. So that's something I want to explore on a different episode. But
Did you bring enough to share with the rest of the class?
no. We are at our 2-hour mark, and I do not mean for these shows to go this long, but the conversations get so good that I don't be wanting to stop. And I feel like this one is still really, really good, and there's so much more we can say. We can talk forever. But
I some friends. Yeah.
Thanks each and every one of you for coming out and joining me on this episode of Confessions and Conversations. And before we wrap, we'll go around the room. What are your final words or final thoughts or final piece you want to release about dating after 40 or anything that we've discussed? Like if there was something we discussed here that you didn't quite either get to touch on, or it's like, I just got to get this out. What's that? And keep it brief.
I would just like to say, in dating after 40, first of all, know what dating means to you, and to those that you are looking to date, and don't let your preference disqualify you. That's it. And thank you for having me again, Mo.
Anytime, sugar. Okay, who else?
I agree with her completely. You know, you got to find out who you are, who you become at 40. You know, and what your expectations, who you've changed, who you've become. And, you know, because once you say, okay, this is who I am, you know, that's like you in a fighting position. Now I got both feet planted, and I can, anything come at me, I'm prepared for it, because I'm confident who I am and what I'm going to bring to the table. And stop listening to that, you know, nonsense that you're hearing in these love songs and these, you know, single woman videos and stuff like that. It's a lot of BS that don't really fit you. And I feel bad. And the same thing with dudes. Stop listening to your friends, you know, because you are who you are. And at the end of the day, you gotta, you know, look at yourself in the mirror. And then you going for something that, you know, you probably don't even like, but you actually like this. And stop taking advice from dudes who ain't getting nothing. You know, that's what I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta rub butter on a girl's forehead. What are you talking about? How does that work? And because we didn't know any better, you know, it's like, okay, well, Mom, you got any margarine? You know, okay, well, what you need it for, baby? Like, you know, I'm exaggerating, but you know, it's just you getting bad advice from folks who don't know no less than you know. Now, you know, you got a catalog of experiences. It's like, okay, well, this is what works for me. I know I'm not into this. I know I'm not into that. I ain't gonna find me in a club. Maybe I need to, you know, mess around this stuff. So, you know, you gotta find something.
That's good. Nisha, Tiff.
Mine is know who you are, know your worth, and just know that your time is valuable. You know, don't waste your time on trying to get somebody to what your expectations are. You know what I'm saying? Like thinking you can change a person to be or fit who you want them to be for you. So when you have to go through all of that, it's too much work. It's too much work. So
good.
Nisha.
First and foremost, you gotta be you. Gotta be you at all times. That representative should show up as you. You gotta be you. Mm-hmm. Be honest. And know what you want. Stop. I mean, but know that expectation list, you shouldn't expect more of somebody else that you're not willing to do yourself. Stop making that list to be so much and you not even that list. Be honest with you. Be truthful to you. Know what you want. And know what dating is. And go in with, like, in a word, I can honestly agree with Percy about this. Know that times have changed, things have evolved. So you can't be stuck in the old way and want something new. In order to get something new, you got to do something new. But don't do something
changing all the time. Yeah.
Or dishonor yourself. But please hold your morals. Know who you are. Know what you want, and show up as you at all times.
Period.
That's it.
I think you said you want to add something, Percy, to that.
Yes. Do not allow anybody, no, do not put your happiness in somebody else's hands. You are responsible for making yourself happy, dictating how your life is supposed to be. I hate to hear, well, he should have, or he was supposed to. No, she was supposed to.
My happiness does not depend on you. I gotta make me.
Yeah. What's my girl thing?
Go ahead.
Let us see what's the how you're gonna add to me, not in the what you bring into the table. It's like, yo, you know,
yep.
I enjoy doing this. Can we share?
How about that?
Okay, cool. That's
the thing is like what you gonna add, and you got stop depending. And I'm like, Percy, stop depending on other people to make you happy.
Yeah, if you like roller skating, you don't want to roller.
You don't even like you, so how you expect somebody else to like you?
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, I got friends.
Things change.
Yeah, I got so many female friends that be like, yeah, well, hey, how was your weekend? Oh, well, we went to Cancun. You went by yourself? Yeah, I had to, brother, because they do the stuff. You know, you get to that age where you just say F it, and then they just go and they do things. And then sometimes you and Tyrone ain't together. I'll tell you about that later. Well, and because I got friends, how come she wanted you to go there? Man, listen, I ain't feel like going. I can't leave the country. Blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. And so it's like I see women doing big things, but I don't see guys doing the same thing. You know, because I belong to like this Black and Tulum. And they always go out there, and I see nothing but packs of women out there getting drunk, enjoying themselves by the pool. The guys don't do the same thing. So then, a woman, I feel, to get frustrated because I saved my money. I wanted to be on the beach, hanging out with a guy I like. You know what I'm saying? The dude don't go. You can't put your joy. You can't let nobody can bring you joy. You got to bring your own joy. And then somebody can only add to that. Hey, yeah, I like to go with you. Things only get better from that point.
I love you before anybody else can love you.
Yeah.
Amen. Ecclesiastes, right?
So my co-hosts out here in Chatland, if you guys have any closing remarks that you would like to share, please go ahead and drop those in the comments. I am going to be mindful of the fact that there is a delay between us and YouTube, so I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to drop that, and we will and I'll share those before we go, because our chats was live. I don't know, Nisha and Tiff, if y'all remember Marsha from the show 2 weeks ago. She joined us. She's in the chats again. I was like, girl, we missed you. She joined at about 8ish. So she missed a whole lot because it was a whole lot that went forth in that first hour. But I would say in anything, it's know you, own you, and fully embrace who you are before you go engage in the other things, because that's how you get lost. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're trying to fit into some mold that they're projecting, that they're looking for, and just be authentically you and allow that person to authentically be them, and just determine whether or not those authentic beings actually match. And if they don't, it's okay. Keep moving, because the other one is out there. And sometimes we have those somebody put in a text and they just stole my whole thought process. Oh well, whatever it was. So but just just be you, do you, and live your best life out there. Sometimes we get stuck in relationships and we be like, okay, maybe this is gonna get better, maybe this is gonna get better, maybe this is gonna get better. We'll get there, and it's like, no, you done wasted all this doggone time and you could have been somewhere else. And just because one relationship didn't work doesn't mean something was wrong with you or that person. It just means, hey, this wasn't the fit. This just wasn't it. Like, I wish you well to, wherever you're going, whoever you're supposed to be with, but it is those things. So I want to thank you guys. This was really, really good. And Marsha was saying she agrees, be authentic is the only way for me. Because I know who I am. And I think the older we get, there's some things we'd be like, oh, I'm just not going to do that. Because I remember I had a conversation with someone married and they were saying, the reason some of y'all ain't met because y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all da. First of all, I've been in the house because of the pandemic. Even prior to the pandemic, it was my economic status that had me in house. So when those things kind of shifted, now I'm ready to go out. Then the pandemic hit and it's boom. But even in that, it's some places that I'm not going. So if whoever my husband is only hanging out in certain arenas, I'm gonna miss him because I'm not coming there. But I just believe that life can orchestrate where I could be pumping gas and meet him. He got to get groceries too. I could run into you at the grocery store. I hope he's taking care of his house and decorating. I might run into your home goods or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in places outside of my house, and you should be in them places too. And so I just believe that those things can line up and mesh and be together. So I'm open. I have values, I have standards. Some of them I had lapsed for a time span in my life. Thank God for reeling me back in with them. But this has really been an amazing, good conversation, great conversation. And I just can't thank you guys enough. Percy, special shout out to you for coming in like the big bro, holding it down amongst a bunch of feisty, fiery women.
They were quite calm. I mean, they
giving us, listen, these some feisty women.
They
now,
quite
I prayed a lot about this call, but I was praying because you was on here, and because on the last one, it was like, Lord, be a whole fence, sweet baby Jesus, tender teenage Jesus. I needed all of the Jesuses to show up tonight. And they did.
I'm not the person you put on the speakerphone.
Huh?
I'm not that person you put on the speakerphone.
Right. But this has been great. I am going to have you back. Somebody put in the chat, he was like, great job, Percy. I am going to have you back. I do want to do that one-on-one where I'm going to collect conversations and questions and have a conversation with you. So we'll probably schedule that for sometime in August. I'll give you a little time off to recuperate now.
Anytime, mama, whatever you need.
I got you. All right. I had talked to you about being one of my co-hosts, period. But
it's not enough hours in the day, man. I just got a puppy, so I mean, yeah. AKA, huh?
We can't hear you, Tiff.
Who, this guy?
We can't hear you. It wasn't over our head. It wasn't in our ear.
Yes, your vocals cut out. You talk about this cat?
Listen, that cat, man, I've been sitting here talking about that cat in my head this entire show. It's the coolest cat I know. But thank you guys again for joining. Until next time, thank you all who joined us in the chat. Miss Parker, Miss Marsha. And then I had a few texts that was coming in as well. So this has been really, really good. I love my chat co-hosts because they help out as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back on the first Friday in, what's this month? So the first Friday in June. Oh, wait, do I move on the third Friday? Hold on. I think I might have to reschedule something in June. Oh, no, we say I moved the week before. Okay. I moved the week after. So yeah, we'll be back in first week in June, first Friday in June. I'm not sure what that topic is going to be about, but I do have my co-host for that one. Miss Tiffany will be joining me as well as Miss Darlandra. You guys will get to meet her. This will be Darlandra's first time on the show. So I'm going to meet with them and we're going to go over what we'll be talking about. So stay connected on my social media pages and join my newsletter so that you can stay in the know of things that are taking place with Confessions and Conversations with your girl, your host with the most, your favorite chick to chit chat with, Miss Mo. I enjoy these conversations. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I love to talk, but I also love having others on the platform because I get to shut up some and give you guys access to other perspectives and perceptions. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this just as much. Until next time, as always, keep it kingdom.